And welcome to the X Zone, everyone. My name is Rob McConnell, and for the next 4 hours, I'm your host your guide as together we cross the time-space continuum to this place that I call the X Zone. It's a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. It's a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. And the X Zone comes to you Monday through Friday from 8 o'clock in the evening Eastern until midnight, right here on the X Zone Broadcast Network and the Starcom Radio Network. Worldwide toll-free, 1-800-610-7035. Our email address is xzone at xzoneradiotv.com. On all social media sites, X-Zone Radio TV, and our main website where you can listen to the X-Zone 724-365, www.xzoneradiotv.com. As you know, June 26, 27, and 28, big days in Brantford, Ontario. That's the 3 days of the Alien Cosmic Expo. That is going to be at the Best Western in Brantford, right off of the Wayne Gretzky Parkway. For all the information about attending at the Alien Cosmic Expo, visit www.aliencosmicexpo.com. Now, if you'd like to watch the keynote speakers live on pay-per-view, www.digitalbroadcastnetwork.ca. My first guest this hour is Kathleen Grace, and we're going to be talking to Kathleen about crystals, crystal balls, aromatherapy, and much more. Joining me now is Kathleen Grace. And Kathleen, welcome to the X Zone.
Thank you, Rob. Hello.
Hello. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what it is you do.
Well, I sell metaphysical items, such as I sell 925 sterling silver with genuine gemstones that have healing properties. I do not make them. I get them from different parts of the world, mostly India and Tibet. And I sell crystals and minerals in raw form from all over the world that also have healing qualities, magical qualities, crystals, minerals, crystal balls, crystal pyramids, crystal points. And then I passionately make handmade aromatherapy with metaphysical focus candles in the chakra candles.
Where did your interest in the metaphysical come from?
Since I was a very young child, I spent most of my time in the woods and collected stones and just was very connected with the earth energies and would bring all these stones home and always knew that they held a magical quality. And so that's where it started. So it's basically since I was a little girl.
Is there any reason you used to spend all the time in the woods?
I just felt very connected and very at home.
Oh, I see. So
in nature.
All right, so tell me about crystals. What is the significance about crystals? How do they work? Are there different crystals for different occasions, different maladies? What's the story behind crystals?
Absolutely. They all have different vibrations. Mm-hmm. Some of them are very old. Some of them are not. Like obsidian was formed in the volcanoes, so it's younger. Then we have like very, very old crystals such as moldavite,
right,
which is a very special stone. Mm-hmm. I will have them at the show. They're definitely of a very high vibration. They cause transformation. They give you psychic protection, and they bring you into your spiritual path, into a higher level of consciousness, so to speak. Well, that's one of them. There's so many. Why would someone, their individual personalities.
Why would someone need psychic protection?
I think we all need protection from negativity. when I say psychic protection, and anything negative, like it's always good to have a protection against. There's negative everywhere, but there's also way more positive. So you just focus on the positive and just kind of, protect yourself from that negative energy.
And what is the difference between raw form crystals and minerals to, I guess, the refined?
There are differences, but they're basically themselves. We have the crystal balls. They're formed into formed into a sphere. Very powerful. So they still keep their power as far as as far as that goes. It depends on a person's, like when you pick up a crystal, you will feel a certain ones you'll just resonate with that certain crystal. Everybody's different.
So what is the chemistry behind it? Why are some crystals more conducive to some people and other crystals not? Is it a matter of vibratory resonance and matching?
Absolutely. It's a vibrational thing, and everybody's, we're all vibrational beings, including plants, crystals, rocks, everything. Everything has a vibration. So everybody resonates with a different vibration. So there's certain crystals that just kind of resonate with a certain person.
No,
then there's certain crystals that you can use for things that you want to achieve in life.
Okay, tell me about that.
Okay, a perfect example, I'm just sitting here with my citrine, which it's one of my favorite stones. It is the success stone. It balances and energizes. It dissipates negative energy. Again, we talk about that. Enhances personal power, emotional awareness, creativity, and optimism, and it stimulates abundance by assisting one to acquire wealth and to maintain a state of wealth. And a state of wealth is not necessarily money. It can be a lot of things.
Well, when you say wealth, people naturally equate it to wealth, property, prosperity, right?
It's great to have it, but it's all like wealth is, when you look at it in a bigger spectrum, what is actual wealth? It's being happy. It's having a harmonious family. It's having good friends. Like all of those things are very important. So I see the citrine as the success stone. Yes, it can bring you money and it can do those things, but really this success is way more than just that. So that's one of my favorites, and I have him sitting right here. I have quite a large one, and I will be bringing him to the show, but he is not for sale.
Okay.
He is mine.
Tell me about your crystal pyramids.
The crystal pyramids are new for me, so there are ways of using them. I'm still kind of in the research zone of that because I just started getting them in and am attracted to them. And you can use them as well to manifest different things in your life depending on the crystal and depending on what you resonate with. But they all want to work with you because they are part of the earth. They're from Mother Earth, so they want to work with you. They want to help you. So that's basically, I can't really get big into that because I just started getting into it myself with the pyramids. It's a new avenue. It never ends. It's always ongoing. What
is the fascination with pyramids?
Well, there's the whole Egypt thing that is very fascinating and still quite mystical. So it's that mystical, shape, but I don't know, I just find I'm drawn to it, and I'm still trying to kind of figure that all out. It probably has something to do with extraterrestrials and how did they get there, and it's the magnificence of them.
I understand you're very big into aromatherapy.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Very much.
How does aromatherapy work?
I make chakra candles. They're energy candles that I combine metaphysics with aromatherapy. And what makes these candles extra special is that they are enhanced with essential oil blends that I select that benefit the balancing of each chakra. And as the chakras candles burn, each one, they release beneficial vapors that gently assist with the focused meditation and prayer that you're doing with each one. Each chakra is different. They're energy wheels in your body. Do you want me to get into that?
Well, yeah. Like, first of all, tell our listeners what the chakras are, because maybe we have some listeners today who aren't aware of what chakras are.
Like, not everybody knows what they are. It's becoming more mainstream. I'm finding people basically do know, but there's lots of people that don't and are very interested in what they do. They're wheels in your body. They're energy wheels. Some people know the word chi, which, you know, you could think of that. Like, we are just like the crystals. It's the same thing. We're all made of energy. When we're broken down, we're just energy. So each chakra in your body, you go from the top of your head, which is your crown chakra, and that represents happiness. Let me just... I've got some notes here because I'm a little bit nervous. I've never done anything like this before, as far as I've talked to people all the time, but not on a radio station. Anyway, you know, the chakra at the top of your head is, that is the wheel that spins. It is associated with divine energy and self-realization, and it brings you to your higher power, and that's where you experience whole body happiness. But every chakra is important.
All right, so all right, so let me ask you this. How do you match the different aromatherapies or the aroma scents that you use in your candles to target the chakra? For example, if somebody how many chakra points are there? 5?
No, there's 7, but there are actually more, but I only focus on the 7 main ones, but there are more.
So what are the 7 main ones?
The 7 main ones, you've got your crown chakra, which is at the top of your head. Yeah. You've got your third eye, which is right where your forehead is, like right in the middle of your forehead above your eyebrows there. Then you've got your throat chakra, which is where your throat is. You've got your heart chakra, which is where your heart is. Then you have your solar plexus, which is right kind of in the middle of your stomach, and that's where you get the funny feeling, like, you just get a bad feeling about doing something. That's your protection right there. That is the chi. That's how spirit communicates with you, your higher self. And then you have your sacral, which is below your belly button, and then you have your root, which is at the bottom. So your root represents all your basic needs. So it does represent money, just your basic needs. Then your sacral is all about love. It's all about your emotions, your intuition. It gives you the ability to relate to others in an open and friendly way, and it helps you to move towards a fulfilling emotional and sexual life. That's your sacral. Then your solar plexus, which is your middle one there, that's your one that you always get that funny feeling there. Everybody can say that. In the middle of your stomach, just in the pit of your stomach, that's your solar plexus. That holds the chi, or your life force of your personal power. It shields you against negative influences, and it leads you to your own unique gift in work, art, and service, and it brings harmony to your life. That's a really important one, and that's your protection. And then you've got your heart chakra, which is your healing. That's the center of compassion and love. When you're hurt in life, the first impulse is to close your heart, but no, that's not true. You should keep that heart chakra open, and you need to release the pain and love again. And then you've got your throat chakra, which I'm burning that particular candle now because I'm talking to you, because that is about, that's your center of communication. And I wanted to make sure that my communication was positive and good, so that's why I put that one on. And, it draws you to meet new people. It encourages your spiritual growth, and it helps you to communicate your inner self. And then we've got our abundance, third eye. That's abundance. That's your psychic power. That's your intuition. That's what all happens there. Your third eye, your true self, and you can attract unlimited resources and power and compassion to realize your destiny with that when you meditate on it and focus on that. And then we've got your crown, which is the top of your head. That's right. That's where you're connected completely to your higher power and to God, as you would call it, or people. Everybody has a universe. Everybody has a different name, but it's all the same. And it's associated to your divine energy and self-realization, and that's where you can experience whole body happiness. So I think that's about sums it up.
All right. So you've got these different candles. So how many candles would you have? Since there's only 7 chakras, are there only 7 types of candles?
No, I do other ones too. I do sweetgrass, that's a cleansing. That's a native. That's native based. And then I have sage, which is also clearing your house of negative energy and bringing positive in. And then I do lavender, which is, calming. I've got different ones that I do. There's many that I do. And then mixtures like, of lavender and sage, and lavender and sandalwood, and patchouli, which is also a protection, and it's also an aphrodisiac. I do that one as well. So different ones, and I also do perfume oils too that I've come up with lots of research. This has taken a very long time for me to get here, and I'm still learning.
So when somebody buys one of these candles, let's say, for example, they buy the throat chakra candle, what do they do? Just light it? Is there any procedure that they need to follow?
I give them a little card explaining what that candle is that they buy and what it represents. So the throat chakra, let's say, and also a little bit of a guided thing, because everybody's different. But every time you light that candle, there's an intent. Like you light it with, please help me with communicating, or help me with, being able to speak my truth, because sometimes we have a hard time and we keep things inside that we shouldn't, because then therefore you're closing that chakra. But it's every time you light that, you're actually, it's also a focus of the person doing it to work on that particular chakra.
All right, so let me see. What kind of feedback are you getting from people who use your aromatherapy candles?
Wonderful. I have many repeat customers, lots of questions, and it's all a learning experience for them and for me. Every day I learn things about all of this, but because I'm so passionate about doing it and only wanting good and positive things to happen to these people, they are coming back and saying, like, yeah, this is great. But it's teaching them as well to realize that they have their own power that they can use and do themselves. But it's just, they smell wonderful, and and they do resonate with the different chakras. And when people light them, it kind of opens them up to, really focusing on a certain aspect in their life that they want to, enhance or improve.
Tell me about the crystal balls. Are they used for, when people think of crystal balls, they think of a gypsy looking at a crystal ball and telling the fortune. Is this what they're for?
Different people use them for different things. They can be used for feng shui because they're round, because that crystal is rounded off. It's emitting its energy all the way around in a perfect circle, which is perfect. But some people choose to gaze in them, and they do see things in the crystal balls. And some people just like to look at them. Some people use them for a form of meditation. There's different ones, like obsidian for one is black. And obsidian was used by the Mayans for scrying many moons ago, but doesn't necessarily mean that somebody who buys one needs to use it for that. I personally look at mine, and it empties my mind, and it helps me with meditation. But the different ones do different things. Some people just like them. They don't realize that the reason that they're liking them is probably because they need them, but that's okay. They're in your house. But it is very important, I must add, is the cleansing of crystals, because they do absorb energy, both positive and negative.
So how do you cleanse them?
So it is very important that you cleanse them monthly or weekly. And I always religiously cleanse my crystals and my balls and everything else, and everything that I sell, believe it or not. So it's quite a endeavor every full moon.
So tell me, how do you clean your balls?
I do them in salt water, and then I ask that all the negative energy is released from the crystal into the universe and absorbed. And then I recharge it and ask for positive energy and for it to be recharged in the full moon.
Okay.
Doesn't necessarily mean, some people you can do it in the sun, but that's just my choice. I really feel it's very powerful to do it during the full moon, and so that's when I do my crystals. And even the jewelry should be cleansed. And I do tell people that when they buy them, to cleanse them before they wear them. And they're already cleansed by me, but they should be cleansed by that person. And then just the intent, because I do give out the information about the stone, what it does, and then their own intent goes into that crystal when they cleanse it, and then their intent goes in, and then that crystal helps them through whatever they need help with. It's really a very awesome thing.
All right, so how does the crystal know what the person needs?
Well, we're all energy, so it's really a telepathic thing. I mean, you can say it out loud, but you don't have to. It's a telepathic thing.
All right, but a crystal is a non-living entity. How does telepathy?
Oh, it is a living entity.
wait a sec. Hold on here. How can you prove to me that a crystal is a living entity?
Well, that is a matter of faith, but also scientifically, when anything is broken down, we are all energy.
Yeah, I understand the physics. I understand that, but I'm asking you. You said that the crystal was living.
Yeah, I believe that they are a conscious being.
No, conscious.
They're conscious.
All right, a conscious being relates to the crystal being some form of life force or life forms.
It's an energy, absolutely.
So it's not a living being. It's just.
Well, it's an energy, but so are we. You know what I mean? Everything is energy.
Yeah, I understand that, but when I think of.
It's not a live thing that's going to turn around and look at you and talk to you.
So how does all right? Okay, I understand that. But how does it perceive our thoughts? If it's not a living entity, or if it's...
More like a conduit. It's a conduit. It is a conduit of your intent. So it's an amplifier.
All right, and what does it... All right, a conduit takes it from point A to point B. I am point A. Who is point B? What is point B?
The higher consciousness, the ultimate being. But then there's, all kinds, like we're surrounded with consciousness, and we are part of it, and they are part of the earth. So that's the way I see it.
But who are they? The they that you talk about.
When I say they, I'm more thinking of, how do I put this? This is just my own belief.
Sure.
I'm not, everyone needs to, I think of they as being the Great Spirit, the God, so to speak, and everything is connected. So they're like almost like a in-between. They help amplify your thoughts, prayers, intentions,
all right,
attraction.
Okay, is this a one-way communication or is it a two-way communication? All right, we're sending our thoughts, our prayers, our intentions. Wait a sec, don't, whoa. Let me finish, please.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay. Is like to get the message across to the other side, we use the crystals. Now, what messages do we get back in response from ours, and does it come through a crystal?
I think it probably helps, but I can't really say that it's the actual crystal that's speaking to you. Okay. It's a force. I think that's up to the individual. I don't really know what to say about that.
All right, Kathleen, you and I have to take a break at the bottom of the hour. Please stand by. Exonation,
okay.
Our guest this hour is Kathleen Grace, and we'll be back talking more about crystals, candles, and much more. This is the X-Zone. I am Rob McConnell. We're coming to you live and around the world from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, on the Starcom Radio Network and the X-Zone Broadcast Network. If you want to hear what real radio is supposed to sound like, X-Zone Nation, besides our show, there's a great show, another great show on Starcom Radio. It's the Ed Till Show, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. And it, too, just like the X-Zone, is heard around the world on the Starcom Radio Network. I'll be back on the other side of these messages. Don't go away.
In the early 1980s, when AIDS-related infections became more and more frequent, Frida Wagman's son, Gary, who lived in San Francisco, informed her of a medical journal article he had read. It told of an infection which seemed, at the time, to be affecting only gay men. Gary sent her a copy of this article with his notation,
"Nothing to worry about, just for your information."
Soon it was something to worry about when Gary told his mother that he had been diagnosed with that very condition. In time, the virus causing this and other rare infections became known as HIV and was the precursor to acquired immune deficiency syndrome, or AIDS. Frida immediately joined a group in her community to help people who were ill with this new phenomenon in order to learn all she could to prepare herself for what her son might have to live with or die from. During the following 12 years, while she monitored Gary's health, Frida met a multitude of people who were already near the end stage of their lives. The hands-on care became more and more intense as the caseload increased. It was during those years that the author learned the full meaning of close and personal relationships, how and what to speak to someone who has lost all of their ability to care for themselves. maintaining their dignity was of the utmost importance, and the experience transformed her into a more understanding and compassionate person. This book tells of those learning experiences by focusing on some of the individuals Miss Wagman helped for brief periods because, as the title implies, they only came into her life at the end stage of theirs. Thus, each of their stories is a snippet of the total message of the book. During those years, Miss Wagman spent Gary's vacation time with him, traveling to foreign countries and exploring California, Nevada, and Oregon, each time noting the subtle changes in Gary's health from one year to the next. He preferred to live his life as he had known it before HIV and asked his mother to do the same. But at the end, she was with him and recounts the emotional and touching goodbye in Davies Medical Center in San Francisco, California. For more information, or to get your very own copy of this award-winning book, Snippets from the Trenches, A Mother's AIDS Memoir by author Frida Wagman, please visit her website at www.snippetsfromthetrenches.com. That's www.snippetsfromthetrenches.com. One Florida drug dealer made a serious mistake when he dared peddle his poisons on the schoolyard of Robert W. Morgan's preteen daughter. Morgan, a budding film director, tracked him to his hidden Everglades lair where his meth lab mysteriously blew sky high. When Morgan's demands to police to make grammar school playgrounds safer from drugs were ignored, he sought the counsel of CIA operative Frank Sturgis. Again, he was warned to give up what was becoming an obsession. Instead, Robert used his reputation as a filmmaker to infiltrate the mafia by stroking their egos and offering to make films for them offshore so they could import them as foreign product without paying taxes. When they agreed to build him a studio in Panama, Robert called the DEA and FBI and offered to work undercover. In time, their combined efforts revealed how the mob was secretly laundering billions of dollars through the Vatican Bank in Rome before returning to the States as foreign investments. Now read Morgan's story, Citizen Spy, Vatican Cover-Up, The Mob, Money Laundering, and Murder, available at Amazon.com, BN.com, and Borders.com. In his new book, Wandering About, author David Strumfeld talks about the universe, existence, civilization, and the nature of mankind. Wandering About is a comprehensive guide that discusses man's everlasting struggle to learn what his place in the universe is and what the true purpose of his existence is all about. By dealing with many forms of science and humanity, Wandering About also serves as an intellectual autobiography, an expedition through author David Strumfeld's mind and his life as a human being. Through the reader's views, readers will learn many relevant things such as the development of civilization through the ages, how science helped mankind to make many crucial discoveries about the universe, why people's curiosity and imagination never get satisfied, and much more. Wandering About promises to push the reader's reasons and thinking to the very edge. To order Wandering About by David Strumfeld, go to www.wanderingabout.net. That's www.wanderingabout.net.
The Alien Cosmic Expo will be held in Brantford, Ontario, June 26, 27, 28, and will feature 24 internationally acclaimed experts and researchers of UFOs, crop circles, alien abductions, and much more in this 3-day 2015 summer Canadian event. Experts in the field of extraterrestrials and alien encounters, out-of-body experiences, past life regression, soul reading, psychic, and mediumship will all be presented with professionalism, integrity, and credibility, making the Alien Cosmic Expo the largest event of its kind in Canada for 2015. The exhibitor hall will feature a spectacular lineup of gifted mediums, psychics, astrologers, channelers, aura photography, healers, as well as books, DVDs, alternative health products, crystals, jewelry, and much more, completing the venue with something for everyone. For all information and to purchase your tickets for the Alien Cosmic Expo, go to www.aliencosmicexpo.com. That's www.aliencosmicexpo.com.
My name is Michael Telstar, Canada's leading mentalist from Toronto, Ontario.
Hi, my name is Splenda, and you're listening to my dad, Ron McConnell, on the X-Zone.
This is Psychic Dorothy from St. Catharines, and you're listening to Rob McConnell.
Hello, my name is Holly Reeves, an astrologer from Astro For You, and you're listening to Canada's #1 paranormal radio show, The X-Zone, with Rob McConnell.
Welcome to The X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
1-800-610-7035, worldwide toll-free. My email address is xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. On all social media sites, X-Zone Radio TV. And you can listen to the X-Zone 7/24/365 with the compliments of rel-mar McConnell Media Company at www.xzoneradiotv.com. Kathleen Grace is our special guest this hour, and very interesting lady. Kathleen, first of all, thanks very much for taking time out of your day to join us here on the X-Zone. The aromatherapy candles, they sound fantastic.
They are, but you threw me off by the question, and during the commercial break, I did get an answer about the stones. So we won't go too far into it, but stones do communicate with you, crystals and stones. They do. My cat came along, and actually I had to sit. I wasn't ready for that question.
Welcome to radio. You never know what you're...
in a very quiet, subtle way. They heal, and just like an animal, like does an animal, like,
yes,
with your...
Okay, I understand the animals. I've got 3 dogs, and they're fantastic. They're fantastic, but they're living, breathing entities. They're like human beings. I have a hard time, comparing my dogs or a human being to a rock.
You know what? I agree, but when you think about it, crystals are used in cell phones, television sets.
Yeah.
All kinds of electronics. They are used as a what's the word that I want? It's right at the tip of my tongue. They're like batteries. So it is a different sort of communication, I guess, is what I wanted to come across as, because I kind of felt like I really wanted to answer that question. It's a different form of communication, and I agree. Yes, they're not like an animal or like a human being. They're much older than we are, just like a tree is very old. Some of them are young, but it's a different communication, I guess is what I'm saying, a different way of being. Does that make sense?
It does, but I was told many years ago that crystals are most definitely rocks, but not all rocks are crystals. So this is where I was having a bit of a...
That's true.
I was having a bit of a problem with that. We're talking about rocks, we're talking about crystals, and I didn't know...
Yeah.
Now, let's talk...
I get it.
Oh.
I just wanted to put it into an answer, and I think I kind of did. It's just a different form of energy, but they definitely are powerful, because we use them in our electronics and everything else. So they can be used psychically, and so that, I guess that's where, and for healing, they do have abilities. It's just they're not a human being, or they're not an animal, or that type of thing. Does that make sense?
Yes and no, because you said...
Of course it doesn't. I knew you were going to do this to me.
Well, this is
Okay.
This is what radio is about. We need to ask you, the guest, the questions that we believe the listeners want clarified. And if I'm
absolutely, that's why I'm okay with it.
And
basically, what I'm saying is, the Native American called them stone people.
Mm-hmm.
They saw them as ancient beings, so to speak. So I'm just trying to, I definitely believe in their healing qualities. And do they talk to me? Mm-hmm. No. Do I get all kinds of messages? Absolutely, yes. Do they help maybe with that? I think so. I guess that's to my higher power, to my great spirit, and to all my helpers and, loved ones and everything else. I think they actually somehow help that coming through.
All right. You just did it to us again. You said, do they talk to me? No. Do I get messages from them? Yes.
Well, I think they help. I think they help because they store energy. They send out energy. That's a proven fact with our electronics and everything else. It's absolutely true.
All right, but let me get to that point again. You said, do they talk to me? No. Do they send me messages? Yes.
Well, talk to me as a human being like I'm talking to you? Absolutely not. But telepathically, I think that they help bring the messages through from the other side, from the higher beings. That's what I think. That's how I feel about it. That's my take on it.
All right, so I guess a lot of this communication and the desire to work with crystals is based on your intent and belief.
Yes, and I am extremely psychic as well, so that's probably why I spend so much time in the forests and carried stuff home and that type of thing.
Now, the candles that you make that are work with aromatherapy on the 7 chakras. Is there a connection between the candles, the burning of the candle, the release of the aromatherapy? Is there a connection to Wicca in this? Because Wiccans believe and they practice different rituals with candles.
Yes, that's true. I'm not a Wiccan. Mm-hmm. I consider myself an eclectic. I'm a little bit of everything.
Okay.
I've studied a lot of religions in my lifetime, and they all have a little bit of truth. As far as the Wiccan ritual type thing, I know about it, but that's not the way I look at it. I look at it in sort of any religion, mm-hmm. any belief system, this will work for.
All right.
Because of the oils and what they instill. So I call myself an eclectic. I'm not a Wiccan. I'm not mm-hmm. a witch or anything like that.
Okay. Now you said you've studied a lot of religions. What are you looking for?
I am always wanting to learn more mm-hmm. about why we're here and all the different belief systems. They all have something to offer, and you can walk away with a piece of truth, I think, from almost any of them that I've mm-hmm. experienced. So I've just taken all of that and just kind of put it into my own eclectic beingness.
Now, you said that the question that you're seeking the answer for is, why are we here? And what have you learned so far as why we are here?
I think we are here to learn. Absolutely. I think that we're in a school. I think that we're here to learn, and I know from different programs that you've done, this is a tough one down here on Earth. It's hard down here. But we're here to learn. We're here to experience as much as we can. Does that make sense?
Why is it then we keep coming back?
I'm not saying that I know the answers, but I personally think that we want to evolve into a higher, more loving being, and I think we come here to learn, and that's why we have so many battles. That's why these types of things that I do help you to focus on maybe your higher power and not so much on, sorry, that's my cat. I think that we're here, and it helps us to focus on actually why we're here, and then you have a better outlook on maybe some difficult situations. And, you can make anything into a good thing. Like, everything's positive. It can always be worse. That's my philosophy. It can always be worse, and things just keep getting better for me, anyway, as I age.
Okay, you said that we're here to learn, and
yes.
and that we keep coming back to keep on learning. So when do we stop? How do we know we've learned what we're supposed to learn? And why can't we just ask those who have returned to the great beyond, who have completed this quest, this search, this learning, this desire to learn what it is we need to be, what we need to learn, so we don't have to keep on coming down here and living through what we do just in order to learn something that has already been learned by others?
Well, I agree with that. I think it's a personal thing, and I don't claim to know all the answers, because I question the exact same thing that you just asked me. But I think that we are here because we have chosen to be here, and we have chosen different paths. I think we want to try different experiences, actually, ourselves. Because it's easy for somebody to tell you of an experience, but to experience it yourself is a whole different thing.
But doesn't that contradict what we go to school for? Because we learn from the experiences of others, so that we don't have to relive the experience ourselves.
Well, my whole this could go into a whole different thing, completely unrelated to what I do, but. I'm not really a gung-ho believer in our school system as it stands now.
Well, not all right.
The old days, they say it takes a village to raise a child.
Well, in many cases today, it takes a village to raise an idiot.
Yeah, I agree. But, we've kind of lost touch with I go back to Native American, because that's, I really believe that they really got it, and unfortunately,
how can you say they got it when they lost everything they had? If they had it,
well, they did.
Just a sec. If they had it in brackets, then they would not be in the situation they are today. So obviously,
but maybe they're there for us to learn more.
No. Wait a sec.
To that way.
Wait a sec. Please let me finish before you start talking.
Okay, sorry.
So it seems that they didn't have it, because if they did have it, they would be a lot better off than they are now.
Well, I agree with that, but the ones who have crossed over, maybe they're not back for this. I don't know. Yeah. You got me on that one. You've got me on that one.
So, where do you see society? Let's say, let me rephrase this question. Why do you think more and more people are seemingly to go towards the metaphysical instead of the established?
Well, because everybody's seeing that it's not working.
So,
not everybody, but some of us are seeing that it's not working. So a lot of us are looking at more natural ways of living. We have a long way to go, but at least we've started walking that way. some of us.
Do you think?
Because really, it's not working.
Why isn't it working? In order to fix it, you have to know what's wrong with it.
Well, I'm not I'm not the guru of figuring out how everything's going to get better, but I say baby steps because we're in such a mess as far as our environment goes, as far as war, as far as starving people. The whole it's huge how wrong everything is, and the waste that we have. So baby steps, I'm just one of the little people that's just trying to step into a more natural way of living and trying to be more open-minded about natural healing and that type of thing.
Listen, I want to thank you so much for joining us tonight. What are your final thoughts for the X-Zone Nation?
I thank you for the interview, and I look forward to the convention or the expo this weekend, and I have hope for the world. I really do. I think that things are going to get better, and there's more and more people that are wanting to look at the world in a more positive way, and that we're going to make a change.
All right. Thanks very much, Kathleen. Take care of yourself. And we'll see you at the Alien Cosmic Expo this week in Brantford, Ontario on June the 26th, 27, and 28. Woo-hoo. I think she was on too many crystals. Never heard of... Yeah, well, what the heck? Craig, at least we found out how to clean our balls. That's the main thing. We'll be back on the other side of this commercial break as we continue here in the X-Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Worldwide toll-free, 1-800-610-7035. Our email address is xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. On all social media sites, X-Zone Radio TV. And to listen to the X-Zone, 724-365. All you have to do, X-Zone Nation, is go to www.xzoneradiotv.com. My name is Rob McConnell, and this is the X-Zone, a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. It's a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. And the X-Zone comes to you Monday through Friday from 8 p.m. until midnight, right here on the Starcom Radio Network and the X-Zone Radio Network. Once again, listen to my buddy Ed Till Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. on the Starcom Radio Network. Wow. Crystals, candles. Are you a believer or are you a skeptic? Send me an email, xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. And it's always great hearing from you, X-Zone Nation. I'll be back on the other side at the top of the hour. Don't go away.